Okay, folks, we come together for another training session with Mr. Schottel and Ms. Peralta. I hope you enjoyed our previous video, and this is as enjoyable as the last session. Today we're talking about testing documentation for STAAR and the manual training that's going to occur on Wednesday, March the 9th. We're going to talk about procedures for filling out seating charts, forms to take attendance, testing rosters and columns, start and stop, break rosters, sample answer documents, important pages from the manuals, and then we'll have questions and answers during the training. Now, the important point on this video, and you're probably going to have to watch it a couple times, is the start and stop times. You're going to have to really focus on that because they're really harping on us about having that on the answer document and the correct bubbles being filled in. So please make sure you're paying attention to that portion of the video. Thank you for your time, and I hope this expedites the process and training on Wednesday. Thank you. So in front of you, you see a attendance roster. The test administrator is labeled at the top, the testing location room, student's last name and first name, if they were absent, and any additional notes. Okay? So it's very self-explanatory. Many of y'all did this on the practice exam, and it was very successful, so we appreciate those folks following those procedures. And it should be laid out. You're going to put student's last name, Ms. Peralta, if you demonstrate, first name, and date, absent, and then their notes. Okay? And that is how you fill out the attendance roster. Okay, now moving on to the seating chart. If you notice before you have the students' locations. Ms. Peralta, if you can point out the desk locations. Okay, you would fill in the students' names on those boxes, showing where the students are located, and make sure if you have one student at the back of the room and you have another student at the front of the room that is reflected on the seating chart. If there's a student that's blank, you leave that box blank. This was one of the issues that occurred during practice testing. Some folks did not fill out their seating chart. So it is imperative that you fill out and take that time to fill out that seating chart. Okay? The next section of the seating chart is for the monitors, time in and time out. All monitors, that includes administrators, coming into your room need to sign in. So if I come in your room, Ms. Peralta is showing that I come in, I put my time, I stay for 5-10 minutes, I put my time out. Even if it's 1 minute, I still put my time out. Okay? Visits to the nurse. Students visiting the nurse, you fill out that column. Time out. Time in. And the total time that student was gone. That is very important when you go to the answer document because, correction, that does not count. So we do not have to worry about the nurse time. That does not count against the student. So you see how quick I almost made a mistake? Ms. Peralta pinched me and punched me on the video. You didn't see it, and that's good. But I do have a big bruise, so we're going to go ahead and keep moving with the training. Now, moving on, we're talking about our STAAR practice. Booklets will be filled out. Their booklet number for the STAAR test will be in that column where it says book number, and that will be filled in. Ms. Peralta will have that taken care of for you when you receive your roster. Okay? Once you fill that information in, you then must fill out the other information such as start time for each student. This is something that did not occur for some folks. They did not put their start time and they did not put their stop time. All students cannot end at the same time. We can't have everybody ending at noon. That you have to document each student's test time that they turned in their booklet. So if we start at 9, some people might finish at 10, some people might finish at 11:30. It needs to be reflected on the start and stop time. Please do not have uniform start and stop times. As you can see, Ms. Peralta is filling those in, and there are various start and stop times. We are now filling in the total time spent. That must also be filled in on the roster. And she's also filling in the column about student's phone. Did the student have a phone? You notice 2 students did not, 1 student did. So you have that information filled out. So this completes our document for our test booklets and their start and stop time. Okay, so this right here is the break roster. Now this is not, all your kids will not be listed on the break roster. I repeat, all of your students will not be posted on the break roster. These are only students that take official breaks. That means that they go to the restroom. Going to the nurse and going to lunch does not count against those students. So you do not put that on the break roster. The only students that you put on here are students that are going to the restroom. So Ms. Peralta is filling in. Susie Smith. She taken her test. She stopped at 10 o'clock. She started back at 10:10. She then took another break at 11. She started back at 11:10. So, those are her breaks. Now Ms. Peralta shows the total time. 20 minutes is Susie Smith's total break time. So, for training purposes, we're going to take the first student that took a total time of 120 minutes. And then we're going to fill it out on the roster here, the testing document roster. Testing document. Okay, Ms. Peralta, she's going to take her 120 minutes. She's going to look at her conversion sheet. Okay. This is where the student, you fill in bubble 4 on the answer document. Notice it's at the agency use, column A, number 4. And that's for that student. Okay, and this was for training purposes only. So if you notice, the procedure for marking total testing time with the breaks is in column A. You would choose number 4, fill it in on your answer document, and you would also have it on, and it would match your total time for that student on your student booklet roster as well. Alright, so for training purposes only, we are looking at the break roster, and that same student, she took a 20-minute break. So you see there it's 20 minutes. Okay, we now go to our break chart. And you also have to fill that out on the answer document. So that too will be, well actually that will be bubble number 3. Okay? Then you go to the answer document and you go to the correct column, which is column B. You write that number in and you fill it, bubble it in. Okay? Notice column A is for the total time. Column B is for the break time. B for break. I know y'all know this, but we're trying to do it for training purposes. Okay? B is for the break column. A is for the actual time on the test. Okay? I hope that's helpful. Make sure you review this procedure because this is one that will trip up a lot of folks, and it did during the training times. So, Ms. Peralta is now giving you your, it's going to give you your manual and training, and these pages are highlighted because they contain very important information, and this sheet reflects those important highlights for those pages. So if you take that time to review those pages, this video and Ms. Peralta's training does not replace the actual reading of the STAAR manual. So you can't say, well, oh, I watched the video and they didn't say it in the video, or oh, Ms. Peralta didn't say it in training. Your responsibility is to read the manual and take that time. So please make sure that you look at these and review these pages. If you have any questions or concerns, please visit with Ms. Peralta and discuss that in the training on Wednesday. Thank you and have a great day.